Welcome back to Profi Plays. I'm Profi, and we are continuing in playing Dungeon Crawl Classics, wandering through the Black Sanctum of Sabucha the Elemental, looking for the sword of Wahanid. 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 Pick the pronunciation you like. I will continue to provide multiple. So, our adventurers, two clerics, two thieves, and a halfling. The rest of their party died in a previous dungeon. Hilariously, both warriors are dead. These are both wizards. Wizards, unsurprising. Warriors, interesting. So they have wandered through roughly a tenth of this dungeon so far, and they have found some valuable artifacts. What they have not found is the sword on it. So at this point, right, Helmet has acquired some full plate armor, which he is now donning. So that means it makes perfect sense if we know we're going to a combat situation uh, for Helmut to be our tank, as the case may be. All right, so let's go ahead and pick up kind of where we left off. So we are in room number 48. So room number 48, let me grab my descriptions, which I underneath all this. Right, so room number 48, maybe I'll put an indicator here, right there. Right, so you're in that room. Remember this room, just in terms of what was here. We went back. Did we go back to? Oh no, we just finished exploring this room. This is the room where we found that hidden locked iron chest, full plate armor, and 1,000 copper pieces. That's something. Right. We can check mark here, just indicate that we found that. All right. So now we are going to continue down the next corridor toward room number 14, right here. Okay, so we continue down the corridor through this entrance to room 14, where we are going to have our dear friend, who's the one that's good at finding traps. It is Marv. So Marv is going to see if he can find a trap here. Okay. And he rolls a total of 10. 10. So if it's just like a normal trap, he should find it if it is here. All right, so room number 14, what have we got? The east entry, it's a locked, strong wooden door, right? So he does not find any traps. Um, So if there are any, they were very well hidden. Now we happen to know with GM knowledge that there aren't. But there is a locked door. So he's going to go ahead and try to pick that lock at a +1. It's going to take a 10 to do it. Oh, and he got 10 plus 1. That's an 11. So certainly he can unlock it. So no problem there. Right. So we made it through that locked, strong wooden door. It is now open. As we enter, we find that the north and west walls have been engraved with strange symbols, and a wooden ladder rests against the west wall. We got another ladder. Yes. Okay, another thing we find here though is that there is a monster. Now, originally, and remember, I'm changing the way monsters work. I'm not going off of what Don John gave me with the random dungeon generation. Otherwise, I would have to stat out some warrior hobgoblins, which is something that just doesn't exist in the Dungeon Crawl Classics universe unless I were to do it just I guess off the cuff or something. I'd have to make these things custom. And I don't want to do that. So instead, I'm going to use my Iron Sworn Delve sheet, and we're going to roll for a monster. So see if it's something that I've already determined or if it's something new. Or now here in room 14. 60. 60 we have not yet determined. Okay, so that does tell us it's something new. So I'm going to roll on my Dungeon Crawl Classics sheet, and let's see what it is. So this is out of 69. And it looks like it's number 6. Number 6 is a giant beetle. Okay, so giant beetle is what we are facing. All right, so let's find out what giant beetles are like. Giant beetle is on page, where was that? 397. The giant beetle. It's relatively, so giant beetles dwell beneath the earth in lands that time has forgotten. Click of their mandibles is a feared sound, for there is no reason behind their attacks beyond the urge to devour. There are many varieties of giant beetle, so the judge should roll 1d6 to determine the nature of the beetles in each encounter. So let's find out what kind of beetle this is. It's number 2. All right, so beetle number 2 is this is a stag beetle. The beetle's mandibles are enormous. Instead of the normal mandible attack, it attacks at +6 for 2d6 +4 damage. It's- In terms of hit dice, it's 2d8 +2. All right, so let's go ahead and get this out here now. Just so you know, we do know that there is some treasure in this room. So I'm inclined to say let's go ahead and I'm going to write down it's a giant beetle instead. What was originally claimed. Okay, so there is actually some treasure in this room that we want to get at. So let's go ahead and get things set up. That's one thing I decided as well that I'm only going to put out the battle mat if there's a battle. The thing I was doing last time, I was spending a lot of time setting up battle mats and like drawing things out when there was nothing there, right? All right. So I remember Phineas saw this, so it is at least possible that he might have been sneaky enough. So this is going to be a 6 by 10 room. So we're going to start with the upper corner here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here's the other corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there's a corner here and here. Okay, so the entrance is up here in this corner where we now have door open. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. I do observe that there is a beetle in here. Where is that beetle going to be? Well, I don't know. Let's drop this in here somewhere. There's the beetle. So there's where the giant beetle is. So now the question, oh, we also want to know where is the treasure going to be? Let's see if I can pull up my treasure boxes. Oh, the treasure. Oh, crap. So the treasure turns out is right next to the beetle. Okay. Yes, Professor did in fact just figure out where that stuff was just by tossing it on. Why not? Randomization. That's it. All right. So that is what we've got here. Let's go ahead and figure out some more about what's going on here with this beetle. So we got a giant beetle. Now, one thing we might want to do, question is, can we get our dear friend Vilbo to sneak in unnoticed so that he can just get that treasure and get out? Maybe, maybe not. So here comes Vilbo. So let's see if he can sneak in and out without causing any problems. Okay. Hero might actually. That's a 17 plus 3. That's a 20. So he's doing real well. I think it's very possible he's going to be able to sneak in there. But that's like right in front of the. Okay, I'm also going to give him a luck roll because I mean, to me, it would be incredible for him to get that close to this giant beetle and the giant beetle just not to notice. Right? He'd have to be real lucky for that to happen. Right? So he's sneaking really well. Now, is he also lucky in like the beetle is distracted or looking the other way or something like that? So let's check. He is not so lucky. He rolled. Oh, sorry. He rolled a 19. Yeah, I lost it. But he rolled a 19, so he did not, in fact, get so lucky. Um, so while he was ready to sneak, the beetle's basically looking right at the door. So he is not going to go in. All right. So let's look at initiative for our sides. So the beetle gets a -2 on its initiative. Right. So beetle is red. Oh, we got a perfect 20 for us. So we get to go first as the party. So I think it makes sense here. Let's send Helmut in first. Helmut, after all, is the one that's wearing the huge armor and also has fairly good hit points. So let's send Helmut in. Helmut, because the armor is so heavy, Helmut can only move 20 feet instead of his normal 30 feet. So he's effectively moving 4 squares. So he goes 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. That's where he is. Now, can he do something in that time? Maybe so. I need to figure out where I put his. There it is. Character record. I know what he can do. I know what he can do. I've got it. Okay. So Helmut. on his turn, is going to not just walk in, but he's also going to cast one of his spells. Because one of his spells is paralysis. Right. So what paralysis will do, if it works, improve. It will give his attack the ability to paralyze whatever the monster is. So let's go ahead and roll for that. So this is at a +1 overall. So it's the spell check is caster level plus personality modifier. He doesn't have a personality modifier. His caster level is a 1. So +1. And let's see what happens. Okay, he got an 11. +1 would be 12. Looking then, I believe that that will actually pass. So this is page number 264 in the book. All right. 12, it passes. The cleric's hands and melee weapons are charged with the energy of paralysis. The cleric must make a normal attack on their next round. If it succeeds, they cause normal damage, and their enemy must make a will save or be paralyzed. The paralyzed creature is unable to move or take any physical action for 1d6 plus CL rounds. So, Helmut's next attack is a paralyzing attack as long as it succeeds. Okay, cool. Am I going to remember that? Almost certainly not. Well, all right, so Helmut has acted. Right, next thing I would like to do, let's have Phineas hop in. He can move 6. He's going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He wants to be next to the treasure, which he's going to try to open. So I think that's a reasonable thing. I don't know if this is locked or not, so let's go ahead and check that. I mean, if I have the description somewhere around here. There we go. So the description says in this room, no, it's not locked. Yep, so you can just easily get this. So he claims the treasure. It's 120 gold pieces. They can divide it up later. Okay, good. So the treasure is gotten. Who else is going to come in? I think Vilbo is going to come in. He also gets to move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to stay back a bit because Vilbo is the one that has melee weapons. So his melee weapon has the short range is 30. So he is within that 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he's within 30 easily. So he's going to go ahead and try and attack with that. He has a +2 on this attack roll. And he got a 6. I'm guessing probably the AC is more than 6. Yeah, AC is 15. Goodness, I didn't realize it was so high. Okay, AC 15. And the attack is at a +6 and does 2d6 plus 2 damage, is what I said? Oh, no, 2d6 plus 4 damage. Oh, gosh. And hit points. Let's go ahead and roll those hit points now. It's 2 hit dice, so it's 5 plus 2, I believe is what it was. 3d8 plus 2? Yep, 3d plus 2. So it's relatively weak if I can actually get a hit in. Okay, so that's going to be the trick. All right, so Vilbo with a swing and a miss. All right, so he threw one of his javelins. He has 2 more javelins that he can throw, but oh well. Marv is really low on hit points. So I'm thinking Marv is just going to kind of hang out in the hallway. He's not going to bother coming in. Igor's our healer. And right now nobody needs healing. So I think Marv is just going to try to like stay near people. I'm not Marv, Igor. Igor is going to come in and just going to try to like stay close to Vilbo. Oh, he should probably be within running distance of anybody. So there we go. So Igor's just going to locate here so that he can go lay on hands as necessary. Okay, that's that. Now, what is our... Okay, who's the beetle going to go for? Well, I think it makes sense to judge from luck levels. So right now, who has the lowest luck? It is Phineas, and Phineas is close by, so it's totally believable he would actually go for Phineas. Oops. All right. So this monster is coming over to Phineas, easily within the move because he has a move of like 30. Yeah. Okay. And then it's going to roll to attack. So Phineas is under attack here. This is at a +6, remember? Oh goodness. It is a critical. Okay. It's not like I might have hoped. All right. So let's look at the critical table. For this is not undead. This is just a monster. Okay. So to roll on this, it's a 2 hit dice monster. Okay, so it's just rolling a d8, and then we would be modifying it. Okay, so it's d8 plus 2 because of Phineas's awful, awful luck score. So, oh goodness, awful luck indeed. So it's a 10. So what happens here? It's a stunning blow. The world spins as the Fell monster makes a second attack. Goodbye, Phineas. Okay, so let's do the damage from the first attack, I guess. Right, so that is uh, it's a total of 6 plus what did I say plus 4, so 10. 10 knocks him down to 0 as his current hit points. So actually, that means the second attack really wouldn't do anything. So yeah, Phineas is down, which means he desperately needs healing if he is possibly going to survive. Okay, so Phineas is down. He's not dead, at least he's not a body yet. He might possibly get revived. Okay, so that's what happened in that turn. Now, this is the way that I like combat to go. Awful things happening. Yes. That's what I play for. All right. Next then, we're back to our turn. Okay. So I mean, Helmut, of course, seeing that Phineas is in terrible, terrible shape, is actually going to go and try to attack. Right, so Helmut is coming over here. Now we do have the possibility here that Vilbo might possibly fumble and hit his friend that's in melee. Happens. All right, so Helmut, let's go ahead and attack here. There's Helmut. Okay, Helmut is going to roll this at a plus 0. Remember, we need a 15. That's just a 7. Yeah, that's not worth spending luck on even to try to increase. So Helmut swings with his club and just whiffs. Totally misses. All right. Next, then, Vilbo is going to throw his second javelin. This is at a plus 2. Oh, 18 plus 2 is a 20. That is going to be a hit. And that javelin is going to do 1d6. But it's 1d6 plus 1d6 minus 3 damage. Ugh. But hey, it'll be a point of damage. Okay, so it's down to 6 instead of 7. All right, and that means Bilbo has one more javelin to go. All right, then I think Marv is just hanging out in the hallway. I mean, he really doesn't have a whole lot to add to this fight. He doesn't have the right stuff really to be good for this, unless he can manage to like sneak around and backstab the thing. Um, it's a huge risk, although it does a lot of damage anyway. And okay. Actually, I think maybe he's going to try to. Marv is going to sneak in, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's kind of making his way around here. We're hoping that it's distracted so that he can backstab, and then Igor is going to move 1, 2, and is going to try to heal uh, Phineas. Now, the two of them, they are adjacent alignments, not the same alignment, but that's okay. Right, so we're going to go ahead and lay on hands. He can do this at a plus 1. That's 8 plus 1 is a 9. That is a failure. It's not down in the disapproval range, but that is a failure, which means, therefore, that Phineas is in fact dead. All right. Helmut, by the way, that was a paralyzing attack that is now dissipated, so he doesn't actually, the paralysis doesn't matter. All right, so Phineas then is effectively dead. We'll check the body at the end of the battle, assuming that we don't just run and leave him to die. Leave him, I guess, to be eaten by the stag beetle. All right. The stag beetle now gets a turn. Who is he going to attack? Well, he has Igor and Helmut right there. Which of them has lower luck? Right now it's Igor. No, this is not good. Okay, well, goodbye, Igor. Okay, let's see what the beetle does, and it rolls really well. Okay, yeah, so I oh goodness, it was way overkill. Igor is definitely down. Okay. Igor's down to 0 hit points. He might possibly be recoverable, maybe next turn if Helmut can make his way over there. Okay. Oh, we can remove the treasure from the map because we already got that. All right. Next. Oh, goodness. Right, so looping back around to our turns, we have Helmut, Marv, and Vilbo still up. Helmut has to try to revive Igor, so he's staying within melee, so he's not going to provoke an attack of opportunity here. But then he's going to lay on hands, and now these they are the same. That doesn't make it any easier. So instead of +1, 8, that's a 9. Okay, is it worth spending 3 points of luck? I don't want to lose my other healer. I'm gonna do it. That is a huge amount of luck we just had to spend. Okay, so um, that is enough, right, to revive Igor with 1 hit point. So he'll be back in the game next round. Oh wait, no, that's not how laying on of hands works, is it? It's based on the hit die, right? I always forget the hit die for the different classes. It should be easy to remember, but I just haven't bothered. To be perfectly honest. The all right, so with that score, that was enough for him since he's the same. He does get 2 hit dice of damage, so he gets to roll 2d8, but he has a max of 3. So yeah, he's actually going to come back with max hit points. Oh, that's beautiful. That is absolutely wonderful. Okay. So Igor is back in the action next turn. Vilbo now is going to try and yeah, he's going to move over a little bit. So he's throwing over Phineas's dead body. See if he can manage to hit with, I believe, his third and final javelin. And he absolutely does not. It's a 3. Yeah. Even, I mean, he does get to add luck to it. I think I already modified it by that, didn't I? Uh, yeah, yeah, that's it. All right, so third javelin thrown, no luck whatsoever. Next, then, we have our friend Marv is continuing to try to sneak around. Now, this guy is obviously facing this direction. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he's going to try to backstab. So let's see what Marv's backstab can do. It does have to hit a 15, which is super high. Okay. But it does. He got a 16 plus 1, that's 17. So he manages to backstab, which is actually really awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll that. So it's a D10 that he gets to roll for this one. If I can find where I put my D10. Where'd it go? Yeah, well, oh, there it is. He kills it. That's awesome. So he just did 8 points of damage through this backstab, and that downs the thing, right? So Beetle is down. Well done, Mars. Oh my goodness. That's awesome. And now we have to find out whether Phineas might possibly have actually survived. So the way this works, just to remind myself, because it's been a while since I've had to do this, there are nice references in the back of this book. Really, really like them. Okay, so here we go. All right. Oh, okay, I missed one thing. That is because Igor was down, Igor would permanently lose 1 point of stamina when he comes back. So his stamina instead of being 10 is now 9. That doesn't actually change anything, but that's what it is. Okay. And he would also have like the signs of a stag. I guess I'm just gonna write down here that he has stag bite marks on his shoulder. All right. Then the other thing we need is recovering the body. So we can roll him over, and then what we do, if a character reaches a dead ally's body within 1 hour, usually within an hour, we make a luck check. So let's see whether Phineas, who was chosen to possibly die because of his poor luck, is actually in fact alive. So we'll roll here. His luck score right now is 4. So if we roll 4 or less, he is actually alive. We roll a 2. We rolled a 2. He's actually alive. So he managed to turn him over. He's clearly in bad shape. But once the ally shakes the down character awake, they recover to 1 hit point. Awesome. And he's groggy for the next hour, so he's going to be a -4 for the next hour. Sustains a permanent injury of some kind, reflected as a permanent -1 penalty to strength, agility, or stamina as determined randomly. So I'm just going to roll a d3 here. It's a 1, because you rolled and then divide by 2. So strength is down instead of 10, it's now 9. That doesn't change the modifier at all. All right, so he does sustain this strength-related injury. I'm going to say that, I mean, he did get bitten by a giant stag beetle. So odds are that definitely did some like damage to the musculature, like in his shoulder, or I don't know, leg maybe. Leg, I like leg. That's a nice idea. Right, so everybody managed to survive, which is kind of miraculous. But that was a tough fight. So what I'm going to do now, right, I am going to now write that this giant stag beetle, or giant beetle, it could be any variety because there are a bunch of varieties in here. I'm going to make this a rare creature because that was a pretty rough fight. I mean, we had 2 people that were basically dead if they hadn't, uh, and one was bleeding out, and one of them just got lucky and they didn't actually die. So I'm going to go ahead and put giant beetle on my list as another rare creature. Okay. And then I need to write down the page that it's on. Then I'll do it at the same time. Okay. Oh, here it is. Giant beetle, it's 397. So there's another denizen that I am somewhat likely, I mean, 2% chance of showing up again. All right, cool. Next thing we need to do is search this room to see, is this where the sword is? So remember, if I roll, in this case, it's going to be 20. If I roll a 20, then this is in fact where the sword is. It's a 4. It's definitely not a 20. So that tells us, no, this is not where the sword is. We have checked this room now. So we will be continuing through the Black Sanctum of Sabucha, looking for the Sword of Mohanad next time on Profi Plays. Until then, this is Profi signing off.